This is my match review for the Springboks vs All Blacks game at Ellis Park, and we will focus on the double banking, kicks in play, the TJ Perenara backchat, the scrums, shot clock and penalties of both sides. Let's get straight into it. Pressure was stopped in the 18th minute of the game before we could convert the try scored by Bongi and Benambi because the referee confirmed he ran out of time, and correctly so. Sands are confirmed for this year's Rugby Championship they will implement a 60-second time limit for a conversion or penalty shot to take place. In a quest for consistency, why was Damian McKenzie not stopped for the same offence? He took over 5 seconds more to convert the try scored by Cody Taylor. The Springboks kicked a total of 33 times in the game. 15 kicks in the first half, which you can see is a little bit all over the show compared to the 18 kicks in the second half. Out of the 15 kicks in the first half for the Boks, 6 were contestable kicks. These are kicks that the Boks have a realistic chance to win back. The Springboks only won back 2 out of the 6 contestable kicks, both coming off the boot of Sasha. You can also see that the majority of the kicks from the Springboks came in the All Blacks half. This changed in the second half. Out of the 18 kicks in the second half for the Springboks, there were 8 contestable kicks. The Springboks won back 3 of these contestable kicks, 2 coming off the boot of Apelele Fassi and the other one again coming from Sasha. Majority of the kicks in the second half for the Springboks moved back a passage between the Springboks 22 meter and the halfway line. The All Blacks kicked a total of 28 times in the game. I saw Jeff Wilson mention this about the kicks for the All Blacks over the weekend.
We kicked the ball, contestable, 28 times. We got it back twice.
I'm not sure if I agree with this. Not all kicks should be considered as a contestable kick. This is a contestable kick. This is not a contestable kick. There's not one All Black that is in a realistic position to gain back position. According to me, the All Blacks had 9 contestable kicks in play. 4 in the first half and 5 in the second half. In the first half, the All Blacks kicked the ball 9 times and 4 were contestable kicks. The All Blacks only managed to win back 1 of these contestable kicks. Majority of the kicks for the All Blacks happened in their own half outside their 22 meter and the halfway line. This picture also changed for the All Blacks in the second half. A lot busier mapping with 18 kicks in the second half for the All Blacks. 5 kicks were contestable and again the All Blacks only won back 1 of them. Majority of the kicks moved back a passage in the 22 meter area for the All Blacks, with over 72% of the kicks coming out of this area. TJ Perenara got penalised in the 11th minute of the game for shouting at the ref. I think we can all agree that we dislike when a player shouts at the referee, but my issue here is that some referees will let it go and some will penalise it, causing for inconsistencies in the way the game is refereed. Please let me know your thoughts on this penalty in the comment section below. The Springboks had 6 handling errors in the game, 4 in the first half, of which 2 was in the first 20 minutes and 2 was in the last 20 minutes of the first half. Then in the second half, the Springboks had 2 handling errors, all coming in the first 20 minutes of the second half, giving the All Blacks no scrum set piece ball in the last quarter of the game. The All Blacks had a total of 3 handling errors in the match. 2 in the first half of the game, both of which were in the last 20 minutes of the first half, and 1 in the first quarter of the second half. The All Blacks conceded the only scrum penalty of the match in the 35th minute of the game straight in front of their own posts, which led to 3 points for the Springboks. The Springboks conceded a total of 5 penalties during the game, which is the least amount of penalties the Springboks have conceded so far in 2024. The All Blacks managed to convert 2 out of the 5 penalties to points. The Springboks conceded 2 penalties in the first half, both coming within the first 10 minutes after kickoff. The second penalty led to a yellow card given to Apelele Fassi and a try scored by Cody Taylor. The Springboks conceded 3 penalties in the second half of the game, with only 1 of these penalties leading to points in the 47th minute of the game when the ref called Gerard Steenenkamp for sealing off. What is shocking is that the All Blacks were in front 17-27 when the Springboks conceded their last penalty of the game, and the All Blacks opted to kick to the corner. Not one player for the Springboks conceded more than 1 penalty in the match. The All Blacks conceded a total of 14 penalties during the match, split right in the middle, 7 penalties per half. The Springboks managed to convert 50% of the penalties into points. In the first quarter, the All Blacks conceded 4 penalties, and in the last 20 minutes of the first half, they conceded 3. The Springboks managed to convert 3 out of the 7 penalties conceded by the All Blacks in the first half into points. What scares me is that I cannot decipher Rassie's game plan here. The Springboks opted to kick to the corner twice with one man in the sin bin and being 7-0 behind. These were kickable penalties, and luckily the Springboks converted the second penalty into a try that Mngomezulu scored. I just always think that when it comes to Test rugby, if you have a penalty in the opposition's half, you have to take the points on offer. Then in the 29th minute, the Boks from 60 meters out opted to shoot for goal, and Sasha delivered spectacularly. I guess Rassie and the Springboks always keep you guessing. In the second half, the All Blacks conceded another 7 penalties. 3 in the first quarter of the second half and 4 in the last 20 minutes of the second half. The Springboks managed to convert 4 out of the 7 penalties conceded in the second half into points. It would have been 5 out of 7, but unfortunately Sasha pulled a kick off the tee with 2 minutes before full time. 2 players conceded more than 1 penalty for the All Blacks on the night. What's worse is that the bench conceded the 3 penalties that led to the Springboks comeback. There's 2 double banking instances that the ref missed during the game. Double banking is when the line-out lifter brings the jumper to the ground and moves forward, finding himself in an offside position, blocking the opposition's access to the jumper in order to sack him or compete for the ball. Luckily this happened on both sides of the game, so it evens out. Thank you so much for watching. That's it for this video. Please could you show support to the channel by liking the video, and even better, consider subscribing to the channel if you like and want more rugby content. I will see you in the next one.